Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of our amazing arena adventure. Today we'll be doing our first draft because we have 8 hours till the end of the season, and if we want to get a shiny new pack for free, then we have to do at least one draft before then. So, ranked draft, Ravnica Allegiance it is. 5,000 big ones. Let's go. Our rare is wholly unspectacular. Mortify is good. Doesn't matter that it's gold coloured. I mean, this is a gold set. We have 5 guilds to choose from, and Mortify is very, very useful. Nothing else here really jumps out at me as being astonishing. Although there isn't much to wheel in Orzhov colours. But Mortify is good. Very good. Priest of Forgotten Gods isn't terrible. Although, and Orzhov is a fairly good guild for that, so it goes with our initial pick. So obviously there's lots of Afterlife, lots of 1/1 tokens kicking about. Other good cards here. Skitter Eel, if we want to delve into blue. Scorch Mark is decent enough removal. Yeah, I think we'll take the rare and just see if we can slide into an Orzhov slot. Gateway Sneak is excellent. Blade Juggler is always tasty. Nothing that works too great with our priest just yet. Sneak or Juggler will light up the stage if I want to delve into red and get a decent card for standard play. Oh, I do like a Gateway Sneak. If I was going for the single most powerful card that I'm looking at, then I believe it would probably be the Sneak. Yeah, what the heck. Maybe we can find our way into Esper somehow. There's the Oligarch, no idea how to pronounce that one. Goes with the Priest and the Orzhov plan. Might be a tad early to take that though. Other options though. A bit thin on the ground. Plague White. Meh, let's just take the Oligarch. Got the beginnings of a good Orzhov deck here. Another Oligarch. Sure, why not? It's a very respectable early drop. Syndicate Messenger works just fine in Orzhov as well. Well, if I'm presented with a Grasping Thrall this late, I'm definitely taking it. This could help us with splashing of the Gateway Sneak, or Ill-Gotten Inheritance that can either be a good win condition or completely terrible and useless. I'm kind of leaning more towards the camp of it being really not great most of the time. Let's take the gate and see if we can get this sneak in here somehow. Nothing spectacular here. Random off-color gate. That doesn't excite me too much. Anything here for standard? Ooh, no, not really. I guess the Rakdos Trumpeter could kind of go in a Rakdos deck. You can do a lot worse than a Dennis Transport. There's also a Twilight Panther, which, yeah, trades with anything. Does a fine job. Snap grabbing that Blade Juggler there. Plague White. Single consign to the pit. I like you for standard. Not sure this sneak is really going to happen. Pretty much the worst rare in the set. So no thank you. There's nothing spectacular here for us. Could take a second blue guild gate, but I'm really not sure that this Gateway Sneak plan is actually happening. another shot at an ill-gotten inheritance if I really want one of those. But again, in the 4-drop slot, I could just have a creature that evasively hits for 2 every turn and can block and is generally going to be more useful. I think I'm going to take that. And sneak is not too likely to be happening at this point. And hello, Spawn of Mayhem. That is a snap grab. Other than that, we have Blade Juggler for our deck. That's about it, but I cannot turn down a Spawn of Mayhem. Oh no, I'm only human. Really don't see the sneak making it, but we'll see. There is an Orzhov Guildgate, but also another Grasping Thralls and respectable removal in Summary Judgment. How much removal have we got thus far? The Priest of the Forgotten Gods? Other than that, not much. It would be nice to have some, you know. Summary Judgment might not be amazing, but gets the job done. That or the Thrall, I think. I think we haven't got a single piece of removal. And we'll see more Grasping Thralls. Another Oligarch here is an option. So is the blue splash gate, but again, we don't want to be casting the Gateway Sneak off of the splashy gates. I think that plan is pretty much just sailed at this point. Could grab this for standard play, or another Oligarch to make Priest as good as it's going to get. As much as I do like to grab standard cards while drafting, I think the Oligarch will do. There's the Thrall. It's that or, well, nothing. Literally nothing in Orzhov colours other than random gates. Maybe a Carnival that we could splash. Thrall will do me. I do like to have a single Guildgate just to make sure our mana is on point. So I'm fine with taking that there. Nothing too exciting here. Anything for standard? Really, really not. A single copy of Bring to Trial can have its uses against, like, Colossuses and Gatebreaker Rams. Final Payment's decent removal. Dead Rebel is also good as well, though. Get back all these creatures that are being sacrificed or dying for afterlife value. That's a tricky one. First Dead Rebels or the first Final Payment? We won't necessarily need removal if we're going over their heads in the air. We haven't consigned in the pit. Let's take the Dead Rebels. Cry the Carnarium. It's probably better for us in standard than it is in this draft. It's that old Footlight Fiend, who's fairly unspectacular. I'm going to grab the Carnarium. It probably won't make this deck, but it's very useful in standard play. Keep those red decks off your back. Thrall for days. Grudion or Plague White. A pretty shallow 3-drop section here, but plenty of decent 2-drops. So how about the Grudion this time? Nothing particularly great here for us. I'm sure there's a go wide deck that would like Burn Bright in standard. Lots of Tin Street dodges. Not bad. And a pretty darn terrible Rebel reading. Well, we could straight up rare draft our first Shockland here. And boy, is that tempting. I mean, we have a decent enough deck as it is. We only need a few more playables to make this a respectable deck. Consecrate Consume would probably be the pick, or yet another Thrall. Consecrate, Thrall, or Blood Crypt. Boy, is this tricky. I honestly think we have enough Thralls, and Desecrate at its best isn't even that astounding. It's like a sideboard card in standard to get rid of big 7/6 hexproof dinosaurs. So, Blood Crypt to enhance our collection. Right. Clear the stage is not terribly impressive. A Griffin would sit nicely in the deck. It would be another 4-drop flyer. We'll definitely be getting in the air. Nothing else really jumps out at me as being amazing. Let's take the Griffin. Could have had so many ill-gotten inheritances. Really could have. Still no value in getting gates at this stage, I don't think. Nothing worth splashing. Guess we could see if the first ill-gotten inheritance makes the deck. May or may not. Choices here between Plague Whites, Senate Griffins, all these fairly basic creatures. Is Copa Vampire, I suppose, technically in the conversation. Plague White is very good. It's very tricky to block and should get in for some damage. Nothing here really leaps out at me. A skewer the critics for standard, maybe. Maybe you find some Rakdos Guildgates and actually you can play it in this draft. Not the biggest fan of splashing. It just messes with your mana too much. Another Summary Judgment. I think I will. Dove Insecurity is loads of fun for standard. We got one Azorius Guildgate. There's no real way to get it into this deck, but I'm going to take that. Orzhov Enforcer is just a solid 2-drop. Debtor's Transport can do a lot worse at the high end, but we have our flyers. Single Debtor's Transport can be awkward to block. Yet another Thrall. Well, our high end might end up just being Thrall after Thrall after Thrall. Undersea's Embrace is wholly unimpressive. I'm sure there's a blue deck in standard that can use Quench. Second Burn Bright to go with the one we took earlier for a rainy day. Another third one. Can't really see this deck needing this Cooper Vampire. Let's take the third Burn Bright. These cards don't really matter. Any fourth Burn Bright. Right. Some random vault progress. Whoop-de-doo. 3 cuts will need to be made. What's the creature count look like? 19's quite a lot. It might be the Senate Griffin because just double white makes it just that little bit harder, more awkward to cast than some of our other cards. Two more cuts to be made. I suppose Bring to Trial is a bit situational. No more so than Summary Judgment, though. Consign's very expensive, but it does just say the words destroy, target, and creature on it, which sometimes is what you want. Ill-gotten Inheritance. Forgot you were in there. You're gone. And, yeah, 17 lands. For some reason I miscounted then, thought there was way more. Remember the Grudion isn't terribly thrilling. Does hold down the ground excellently, though, while we wait around for our flyers, so it probably stays. Oh, it's a tricky choice. I like our flyers. I like the plan of getting in with flyers. Maybe 2 Summary Judgments is more than we really need. Yeah. One summary for a small creature, 1 Bring to Trial for a big creature. A nice split down the middle. I do believe with that we can dive right into the games. I feel pretty confident we have a respectable deck. No nonsense, no trying to splash 4 colours and getting into all kinds of kerfuffles. Sitting there staring at a bunch of things we can't cast. Keeping it nice and simple. And that hand is perfectly keepable. Hello. And a hello to you too. Slam 1 Angry Grandma. And start bashing with 1 Angry Grandma. Boop for 2. A land of any description would be very nice here. Still no plays from the opponent, and 6-drop there, fantastic. They're not really doing much, which is a shame that we can't really take full advantage of that. Okay. Opponent is up to something over there. Skittereel is bigger than our creatures, but can't stop us from Syndicate Messengering. Opponent's getting it. Just take it. In fact, if they adapted it, it'd be brilliant for us, because then we could summary judgment it away. What trickery is afoot here? Root snaring. You got us. It's probably worth just doing this. We can pay for any wenches he may have. They can't adapt it. Not that that would help. What have we got? None. Personally, a fan of the root snare plan. I'm a fan of the mesmerizing Bentbid plan. That'll get you places. Oof, not a fan of drawing endless 5 and 6 drops on 4 lands either. No double black for the spawn. Not much to be done here. I could attack with the 2/1s. He'll eat one up, sure, but then we'll get a flyer out of the deal and keep pressuring in the air. Meh. I've heard of worse ideas. Alright, that works for me. He's flying, but he's not flying. Why you no booping around in the sky, bro? What's that all about? I'd like to leave up their mana. Who knows what mischief is afoot? It's definitely flying, right? You haven't lost flying in some way that I've completely forgotten about. Definitely flying. Opponent kills my 1/1. My precious 1/1. Angry Grandma. And Angry Grandmas are doing a jolly good job of keeping us in this while we completely fail at drawing lands. Opponent's playing some interesting cards. Just only strength just to put a +1 counter on something. Biomancy just to kill a 1/1. Root Snares to block 5 or 6 damage. People should really study up on drafting at least a little bit before they go and spend 5,000 big ones on it. I think we all attack. I mean, same thing as before. A 1/1's probably more useful to us in the air right now than a 2/1 on the ground. Get our juggler down. Come on, it's time for a land, don't you think? I think it's time for a land. Nope, it's time for a frilled mystic. Are we going to lose this match against the opponent on Root Snares? I will trade the Oligarch for an attacking Mystic all day, every day. I also really wanted that Blade Juggler to resolve. Wow. We are gonna lose. We have no choice but to be jumping here. If we don't get a land now, we are done. We are out of this match. It is over. Come on. Come on. Yes. There is the land. There is the Thrall. Now I think we have a fighting chance unless our opponent has something pretty good. Can we afford to just take the damage here? If we can pump them in any way, I think we have to double jump and just pray that our Thralls get us there. Any kind of pump spell there would have been the end for us. And if he has another Frilled Mystic, we're done for. No Frilled Mystics or counter spells of any kind. Ooh. That was close, folks. That was scary and close. Would have been very frustrating to have lost that. Stuck on 4 lands for so very long. Claim up prizes. Round 2. Honestly, I'm happy with just about any result when it comes to drafting, because at the end of the day, we open a pack, we get a big pile of cards, we can now go and build a respectable Orzhov deck that will do just fine in standard. Ooh, complete and utter lack of black mana. We can cast a messenger eventually. Do we take the risk? Let's do it. Just this once. Cross our fingers for every single turn from now on that We draw a swamp. Phew. That is what we wanted to see, baby. Angry Grandma coming down. Gonna put you whippersnappers in your place. Now things are looking pretty sweet. Is it worth trading an Angry Grandma for a Orzhov Enforcer? I think so. Death Toucher for a 2-1 Vigilant. Works in our favour. Debtor's Transport will have an easier time getting in with no Death Touches around, although that's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Let's see if there's anything worth mortifying. The attacks I am blocking because Spectacle is something that exists. Turning that into a 2/3 flyer. Yeah, I think we can allow this. I'm sure there's something far scarier to use a Mortify on than an Angry Spirit. Right. Will be blocking. Priest O Forgotten Gods, eh? Don't exactly have things we want to sacrifice right now. We're down 1 Angry Grandma. It has to be 2 creatures. Let's just Thrall. Priest will be a lot more exciting if we can find 1 more Angry Grandma. Is that something we want to mortify? Maybe. See if we can't get some of their creatures out of the way to make Debtor's Transport have an easier time attacking. I think we just kill the Spirit here. With the help of our friend Mortify, Debtor's Transport should be the biggest thing going for a while. And if he does die, we can probably turn those little 1/1s that he makes into some nice value with Priest. Do we actually want to mortify here? Should we just take the trade? I think so. Let's take the trade. We can get it back with Dead Rebels and have a Priest down. Thrall and another Debtor's Transport? Sure. Pretty good turn overall, I think. We're at 20, so the Ill-Gotten Inheritance is looking very silly. Basilica Bellhorn's good. We're kind of taken to the skies, really. Can we just ignore that 3/4 and ditch the Mortify? If it trades with Dice Transport, we'll get ever more flyers. Opponent has their own Dead Rebels. get in with the flyers. That works fantastically for us, because now we can go Angry Grandma, activate Priest, sacrificing Angry Grandma and the 1/1 flyer. Sacrifice your creature, draw a card, replay the Debtor's Transport. Another good turn for us. Comes the Enforcer to turn our Debtor's Transport into flyers. Scratch to the top A. Maybe I should have done Priest before combat. Nah, let's just all-out attack. Should do nicely. It's probably worth activating the Priest again now, just to draw the card. Land, not super useful here. We'll be swinging out with everybody, I feel. And depending on how he blocks, activating the Priest again, just to try and get rid of both Griffins if we can. Another Messenger is fine. I'm pretty okay with that. Question is, do we sacrifice? I think we do. Opponent sacrifices a Messenger and a Panther. Does that make sense? We can't really then attack through his Syndicate Messenger. Let's sacrifice both these guys. Another useless land is not really what I had in mind there. Dead Rebels back a couple of dorks. It's pretty good, and there comes the Basilica Bellhaunt to get our planes. No. Another useless land is really not what we wanted to draw there. Really, really not. Keep sacrificing. Keep drawing. Would really like to see our spawn of mayhem right about now. Not honestly sure we can push through this last 7 points of damage. Need something good. Plains is not what I had in mind. Do we just keep sacrificing to try and draw into something, you know, respectable? That was actually a complete misclick. Just so you know. Hadn't intended to attack with the 1-2, but there wasn't much left for him to do other than clear our board and leave our opponent with the 1-1. Blade Juggler's nice, I'll take that. Swamp, not so much. So many lands. We've been through our dead rebels. I think, yep. Some more thralls we'd like to see, I suppose. Wow, mythic rare. Not an endless stream of lands. Yeah, I think this match has gone a little astray. We drew a bunch of extra cards, but they haven't been very good ones. Our decks are very similar to our opponents, but they've got the Inheritances and Basilica Bellhaunt. Plague White ain't going to do it. Think, unfortunately, 12 lands drawn is just a few too many. Never mind, we persevere. On to the next game. Hopefully this time our draws are a little more impressive than 12 bleeding lands. Also would have helped if we hadn't been playing against a fellow Orzhov player who was able to just sacrifice creatures for afterlife value in the face of our priest. We'd want to be playing against literally any other guild with that card. Getting pretty good luck with nice opening hands. There's the double black we'd need for our spawn. And our deck generally wants to be up at 4 or 5 mana, so this is all good. A Rakdos Trumpeter. Aggressive Rakdos deck running a slow locket. That's probably just a good thing for us. Means they're not playing another monstrous creature that's going to batter us. we're pretty cool with never drawing land ever again. If you're listening, oh magic lords, gods, deities, whatever title you claim, no more than 1 or 2 the rest of the game tops. That'd be dandy. What have you got for us? Gore Clan Wrecker. Lots of menacing creatures over there. But I think we have a respectable wall of defense put up. But they shouldn't have a too easy a time getting through. Save this consign for something truly scary. Here come the beats. We triple block this, even if they remove one it still dies. You could pump it though, of course. But can they pump it all the way up to 7 or more toughness? Let's just see. Blade Brand, well that's effectively cycling because he would have killed all 3 of them anyway. Hopefully he doesn't have that card Dagger Caster. Is that in Allegiance or is it in Guilds of Ravnica? Either way, sure I hope he doesn't have it. And makes us sacrifice a 1/1. The land situation really isn't working out for us. Should we just be getting in here? For now I think yes. If we started to draw Grasping Thralls off the top, this wouldn't be a race that we were losing. Well, as the board stands, we're winning it. But yes, no more lands. Not a 1, please. The Roustabout isn't so bad. Guess we'll hang on to a land or 2 in case they decide they want to make us discard. Getting in the air, these things are serving little purpose on the defensive. Plague White, 6 land, past 10. What else does this thing do? 1 damage. Destroys the Plague White. Kills him dead. If we keep drawing nothing, we're going to be consigning one of these creatures, I think. Cult Guildmage isn't going to be doing much when we go empty-handed. Okay, there's a real card. And it holds off the Cult Guild Mage from attacking us freely again. Still hang on to that land, obviously. It would be very silly to play it. Go on, give us something really worth consigning. Opponent kills off our aerial threats and plays a nuisance threat of his own. Cult Guild Mage. Yeah, it really doesn't do much anymore. This Blood Mist Infiltrator is probably the most dangerous thing here. I had a land. Well, that or the Trumpeter, which can get pumped. It's a long way off from pumping itself twice. Super awkward to block, though. They'd have to spend their entire turn pumping it. Let's get rid of the Infiltrator. And keep attacking. We've got so many Grasping Thralls to draw into. That's basically what I'm banking on. Looks like they're just pumping in, right? Now, come on. Any piece of action should do nicely here. Any piece of action at all. Want the devil in an aggressive Rakdos deck? So, well, I guess it cycles. I suppose we have Dead Rebels, so he can stop us getting back a Twilight Panther or something. It doesn't do literal nothing here. What are you going to take? Consign that we couldn't get back anyway. Okay. There we go. That's the kind of draw that we needed. One of our many, many Grasping Thralls. That should hopefully seal the deal here. 2 cards left in hand. One's a land. As long as it's not Rakdos or something. And we got there. Cool. Would have been super frustrating to have drawn our 9th land. Nope, I can't see anything you can do, opponent. Good game if you're listening. Hopefully it dawns on our opponent sooner rather than later that the match is over. Later would appear to be the choice of the two. Good game indeed. Gone up to 2 and 1. Bunch of orbs. We have one more deck, I believe, the blue deck. Tap a gander at before we start working on crafting our own dual colour decks. Something I'm very much looking forward to. I do like deck building. Again, I'm not spectacular at it. I just chuck in cards I like. But hey, if you get results and you have a good time and you're getting some gold, I think you're playing Magic Arena right. I think you're basically doing it the right way. So we faced off against Orzhov, Rakdos, Simic, if I recall. What is next? A mulligan down to 1, easy win? Nope. We are good at getting those turn 2 grandmas. Yes, we are. Blocked. Denied. Oh, we can't attack. Can't do nothing. Love to get this spawn of mayhem down. 2-4 coming in, can't judgment it. Only doing 3 damage. There's the swamp. They might just let us attack. Because they want to be pressuring us, maybe. There we go. So I think we... yeah. Spawn of mayhem. Coming down. Now, what does this card actually do? All I know is it's a cheap, big, flying trampler. 1 damage to each player, and it can start getting bigger at low life totals. Okay. That is good. And we will be attacking with it, with the Mortify up to help protect it. Is this going to be an easy spawn of mayhem win? I'm down for that. That's why you put bombs in your deck. To get them wins, to get them gems. Grasping Scroll? Nope, Syndicate Messenger. We will keep swinging with our mayhem. This is a clear trade right here. Keep on swinging with the spawn. Will be a very nice addition to our black constructed decks, by the way. That's down at 8. That's down at 6. I might just be in trouble. Infiltrator on the ground doesn't really have much relevance here. Do we just absolutely swing out? Kind of think we do. When in doubt, swing right out. Well, that leaves you dead. So, good game, opponent. Moving swiftly on. Climbing up the limited ranks. Next season, hopefully, we can do a little better than bronze. 3-1. See how many more wins we can get thanks to our spawn. absolutely keep that. Nothing wrong with this hand whatsoever. Now our records go up to 3-1. We're facing off against much higher ranked players. Does this phase us? No. I mean, I'm entirely average, and I played against and beat someone in a mythic rank once. One time. I swear it happened. He wasn't mana screwed, I swear. No grandma, but we have Bucket Boy here. Go, Bucket Boy. Is this white more valuable to us than it is them? We have no spectacle stuff. But let's just... I'm down with that. Our plan in general is to take to the sky. Oh, wait a minute. We both completely misread that situation. Both me and the opponent. I thought there'd be a trade. He apparently did too. I think that's an oops situation. I have nothing else to do here, so I might as well just... swing out. And now we take to the skies. Leave Whitey back to protect against that. Ooh, Dead Rebels. Don't want to highlight my graveyard. I think it's too obvious that I'm interested in what's in there. It's a Grudion. And not much else, right? Let's get rid of the 3-1. As opposed to the pretty lame 1-1. There are now 2 creatures in the grove. They're not the most spectacular ones, but... I mean, do we want to wait until something bad happens to this Thrall? It's not a fantastic use of mana. Well, there's my answer. Seems we'll have to pay full price for it, but no matter, no mind. Thrall and go back to white. So we can play it right now. Yes, Orzhov definitely, I think, one of the better guilds in this format. Lots of people know it. It's kind of a solved format at this point. I'm fine with this trade. Cycles away Bladebrand. Another Thrall is excellent. Hang on, it's not important to leave up Summary Judgment here. It's unlikely we're going to need to against that 1-1. And they could have a discard effect of some kind, so I'll hang on to Plains. Yep, opponent's got the Dead Rebels too. At least he doesn't have any Thralls to get back. Opponent's chumping already. Okay. Fine by me. thrall number 2. And now we'll play the planes to get down the agrigramma. Oh dear. That is all I'm saying, is oh dear. I suppose I'll also say nice. Because that is a nice card. And we have no more dead rebels to get those guys back. Oop, I'm sorry about that. That Kai's Wrath could very well be the end of this match. We'd have to draw exceptionally well from here. But hey, in Limited you generally can't play around sweepers like that unless you have just so much stuff that it would be foolish to throw it all onto the battlefield at once. Priest here. Looking spectacular. We need more dwarves to sacrifice. As such, I will hang on to this 1-1. I won't risk it in combat. And of course our opponent has a perfect creature to sacrifice to the priest. My limited opinion of priest is diminishing. It is shrinking because I don't think I've ever played with it before this, and I guess it's just a bit too hard to get enough creatures to sacrifice in limited. Drawing another land. We'd be in trouble, folks. We'd be in trouble. I don't think it's even worth attacking. Probably let the attack in for now. What can we actually do to win this game? Something big like Debtor's Transport would give us the bodies. Oh boy. Opponent's drawing good. I mean, we ended up with 4 thralls, didn't we? So just thrall, Debtor's Transport. I'm not asking much. It's not asking much to draw that well, is it? Is it? Okay. Which of his creatures is the scariest? It's going to be the Scavenger again, isn't it? It's going to be a 5/5. Yeah, Priest is looking very silly here in the face of Gutterbones. Yeah, we'd have basically won by now if it wasn't for that guy's wrath. Okay, there could be a window here where I can get more of a real creature with Priest, but opponent's getting all kind of delicious value. Well, there's the Thrall. That's what the doctor ordered. Yes, indeed he did. We have the biggest creature in the sky now. Got to fade removal forever and draw a second one. There's the inheritance. Opponent gets the priest, which had basically exhausted all of its value. Okay. Does this just mean he has another removal spell for the Thrall, or? Oh boy. Possible he thinks he's just going to win the race because of the inheritance, and that could well be true. I think the 5/5 Scavenger is going to have to go. Get this consigned a bit. maybe those 2 points of damage are crucial in getting us there. Two to the top. Absolutely wonderful. Back comes Gutter Boy. What would 2 to the top mean? I'll tell you this, absolutely nothing good. Nah. Attack. First. Consign the 5/5. And then wait and see what those cards we scrolled to the top were. The second inheritance. Is that going to be enough? It might be. Could really use that throw. There it is, okay. You're absolutely swinging out. The mana though, he's got enough to crack one of those inheritances and then the other. I don't know which way this is going. I think we're going to lose. I mean, going up to 8 is just enough to... Oh, wow. Okay. Holy cow. Now we're forced to throw the Thrall in the way. Or we insta-die. You can see why the opponent drafted Orzhov. Jeepers, the cards in his deck. Have to do this to stay alive, right? Yep, we really do. Somehow got to find 2 damage on this last turn. Bring to Trial is not the card that gets us there. Don't actually know why I'm carrying on. Good game, opponent. That was as close as I could make it. There you go. Give him a quick shot at the killing blow. Yeah, I really thought we were doomed for a long time there, so I'm very pleased that it went as close to the wire as it actually did. So very, very close. Three orbs. Outstanding. My day has just been made. Okay, we're at 3 and 2. The next loss shall be our last. That deck though, Ethereal Absolution, Kaya's Wrath, even made Bankrupt in Blood work. That's the most astonishing thing there, I think. Hey. Expensive cards, absolutely no black. Well, this could be the end, folks. This could be the end. Still, 3 and 3 means we get a nice pile of gems and a nice pile of cards. Why you no swamp? And yes, my limited opinion of Priest has plummeted now. Do we go out with a complete whimper, not casting a single spell? I should like to hope not. Oh, if only one of those island planes had been a swamp. If only. Instant death for the Oligarch. Thankfully, no. Next time we draft, we should hopefully be in the War of the Spark season, which I'm looking forward to very much, because this format is kind of gone very stale now. It's kind of solved. We know the best decks. Everyone knows how to draft them. Well, there's Spawn of Mayhem mana, and he's not got counter magic up. I'm only human. Let's just slam that bad boy. Let's see if we can ride him to victory. As for control, all sorts of cards that could kill him. It's an Acuity deck. Kill it fast. Couple of Grandmas here. He sweeps the board, getting with the 1/1s and Dead Rebels back the Mayhem. Surely we can't run into 2 Kaya's Wrath decks in one draft. Surely not. Yeah, if you can kill it once. See if we can deal with it a second time. He's certainly got counter mana left up. Our Grandmas might just be enough to get there. Cool, and we have some decent creatures in there to get back now. Deadest Transport is a land away, but that should be fine. We should hopefully just have this with our army of oligarchs, because they're just going to keep on attacking through just about any blocker. It's looking pretty good at the moment. Play the Spawn once more. I don't need to worry about Devil's Acuity too much. I was thinking we can mortify it, but another day. Do we get that? Opponent is weighing up their options. We're in a pretty strong position. Oh my good lord. Well, now we... Do we leave up? No. Can't let it live. They'll gain life with the Acuity unless we mortify the Acuity away. Or, of course, we mortify Spawn of Mayhem away. Any way to do exactly 2 damage to them so that there isn't. So that they die to the Spawn. There really is not. Can't mortify away the Oligarch. That'd be perfect. We'll of course leave a Dork behind. I think our best bet is, unfortunately, kill off our Spawn. Get them down to 1. And play the Plague White. That was a very good play by our opponent. Sphinx is inside, so they can gain much life here. They have many cards in hand. As the board stands, they're still dead. Nope, no longer. Don't think we have any choice but to swing out with the crew here. Then slam this debtor's transport. Opponent's done a very good job of staying alive. That damnable acuity has drawn them many a card, and they certainly aren't out of steam yet, like us. Well, goodbye debtor's transport. Hello, bunch of dorks. All we can hope is that they stop drawing instants that let them pick the acuity up. 2 free damage. Can just draw and keep on drawing. It's probably got to clear the mind in there as well. There it is. I think we just keep swinging. I'm fine with turning Ground Might into another flyer. Blade Juggler itself can't exactly get in here. It may end up as sacrificial fodder to the priest here. Opponent just keeps on ploughing along, drawing and gaining life. His deck is now just all spells with very few lands in it. Whew. That's going to be tricky to get around, and he can just vigilantly batter us over and over again. Priests might actually be our only hope here. Maybe. Certainly need some help drawing cards. Bring to Trial is actually not half bad there. Getting rid of that Seraph. question is, do we sacrifice the Blade Juggler and a Flyer to get rid of that Knight Arbiter and draw another card? I think we do. The 2 damage is certainly relevant as well. Nothing but Gilgate. I was a betting man. You don't want to know what I'd say. I was a betting man. The other guy. The other guy. How many of our thralls have we been through? None. So we have many thralls to draw into. Certainly afford to pay for this. Is there any value in hanging on to this land? We use the one and only Dead Rebels. We have. Although I'm sure our opponents figured out by now we've got nothing. I'm sure they figured that one out. Crack in the locket, draw some cards. I can afford to just fling a Summary Judgment at a 1/1. Because his deck's just all action, and he just wants to keep replaying that acuity. Yep, we need what we had in the last game. Running Thralls. One after another after another. Would I block here if he attacked? Or do we need that 1 damage on the offensive? Consigned to the pit. Welp. It represents 2 damage. And another 1 damage. How much damage have we actually done to them? They've now pulled 13 lands out of their deck. Yep, just thrall, and no counter magic is what I wouldn't mind seeing. Plains is not the way. This might just be slipping away from us. Down to 11, they've got plenty of time to kill us. Yeah, the inside, drawing ever more cards. Yeah, that's probably the end. Take the acuity, draw some more, all out to 8. I mean, maybe somehow with our thralls we can drag the game out long enough that he decks himself. That's looking to be our only hope at this point. Get in for a pretty insignificant one. Oh, wait. Duh. He can play forever with this Jug Troller. Yep. I think this match is pretty done now. I'll give it one more draw step. If it's anything other than a thrall or a transport or something really impactful, I think this one's all wrapped up. It goes way back to that mass manipulation. when we had him on the very brink of death. So all in all, we're pretty unlucky to have lost this match. We had him dead to rights until he whipped out a stupid powerful rare card. To be fair, we had a stupid powerful mythic card on the board at the time, but that's rares and mythics for you. Now, what could possibly draw here? I can't think of anything. Certainly not a swamp. Oops, I forgot to go good game. Dang it. Good game, opponent, wherever you may be. So we went 3-3 overall. And when we lost, it was to a mass manipulation. It was to a Kaya's Wrath. You know, we lost two big, powerful cards. Still, 300 gems towards our next draft or sealed event. Oh, thank you, Zwuggy. And a pack or two to open to end our video. Let's see what we wound up with. Aeromonkers, quite nifty. Plenty of final payments now. Lawmage's Binding, that's good in pauper events. I do like those. A Pestilence Spirit will go nicely into an aggressive black deck. Come on, let's open a Bolas. Let's open something real good. Our second Ignite the Beacon. That's two pretty worthless rares from more of the Spark packs for us. What else have we got? Target Crucial Planeswalker. I've seen worse red cards than that, but it doesn't really go in mono red ones. Just don't know where that will go. Soren's Thirst is fine for mono black. Good old wild cards. Cure is fine in ramp. Oh. All in all, a successful enough draft. We're halfway towards our next one, and only $2.5 grand away from that attempt. I've been Magic Mike, and it's been a pleasure speaking at length with all of you.